During a recent Trump rally in Pennsylvania, an 18-year-old woman by the name of Anna Lehane decided to wear a protest t-shirt. The t-shirt said the following: "Grab my pussy, I dare you."
Oh, you don't do that.
Now, she did it to obviously make a statement against what Donald Trump was caught saying on tape. Here is her own words. "I made the shirt as a protest to people in the public spotlight on such a global platform, making such disrespectful, degrading, and misogynistic comments and still being taken seriously." Now, she said that one person called her a communist, while another older man told her that he always likes a good dare. Okay, we really need a refresher course on what communism means, because I don't think conservatives really know what it is.
Okay, so her point is, don't grab my pussy. And he's like, communist. Why, do capitalists grab pussies? And are communists, do communists protect the rights of women better? I don't know if you know what you're saying. I mean, actually, I do know. You most certainly don't.
Yeah.
But look, I'm both very proud of her, and at the same time, I'm like, oh, no, don't do it.
It's a disastrous idea.
Yeah.
Look, I think she's brave for doing it, and I get her point. But I think it's a really dangerous thing to do for a couple of different reasons. First of all, she's 18, so she's not a minor. And second of all, someone can make an argument that her shirt indicates consent. So if someone did sexually assault her, I mean, would she have a case in court? You know what I'm saying?
No. So that would be it, the person who
they're crazy. Trump supporters are crazy.
No. Don't get me wrong. You won't win. The person who attacked her would never win that in court. I don't think. Right? I'd be very, very surprised.
Brock Turner.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I hear you. But no. The thing I'm concerned about is, well, like you said, going to a Trump rally. I could have told you exactly what they were going to say. Like, luckily, nothing happened physical. But like she said, most of the guys who were making the comments, most of the people were older white men that were making the degrading comments. And yeah, you're going to get, to them, you're egging them on. They want to do it anyway. Why do you think they're supporting Trump? So they see this young girl and they're like, I was like a good dare. Like, Jesus, no, don't go near that kind of stuff, right? So again, she's trying to make a good point. I think she's a brave soul, and she's strong, and I like her attitude. But just be careful. Don't wear it at another Trump rally, because look, Hillary Clinton, I think, had it exactly right. Half of them are a basket of deplorables. The other half are angry about their jobs and economic conditions, and some of them are just are greedy and want more tax cuts for themselves and yada yada. But half of them are support Trump, not despite the things he says, but because of the things he says. So if you say I dare you to them, they're going to take that as an open invitation.
I know that this is a little bit of a tangent, but it must be said. If you support Trump now, if you support Trump today, you are 100% deplorable. 100% of Trump supporters right now at this very moment are deplorable. Because, look, in the beginning, maybe your argument makes sense, right? Half of them are just racist people that love what he has to say about Mexicans and Muslims and black people. But the other half just want an anti-establishment candidate, and that's who they get, right? But at this point, it goes far beyond whether you're establishment or anti-establishment. If you're supporting a candidate who openly speaks the way Donald Trump does about women, you're deplorable. You are a piece of shit in my eyes, right? So no, not half of them, 100% of them.
Okay, well, now this is a debate that they should be having on CNN. Are 50% or 100% of Donald Trump supporters deplorable?
100.
Because what you'll get is people saying, well, if you're supporting Hillary Clinton, you know what she's done, right? There's a way that you can, if say you were for anti-establishment, you're all for Trump, there's a way you go, okay, this is too much. And you either say, I'm voting off ticket, I'm writing, and you can do those things. And don't feel like, I have to vote for Hillary Clinton. If you're a Republican who thinks this guy's insane, you can think he's insane and actually have some bit of your soul left and go, I don't have to vote for either one of them. There's a way you can hint at that and be like, I'm not voting. There's a lot of people that say, I'm voting for neither one of them. It's fine.
That's fine.
But if you still think you openly, actively support them and you're okay with this stuff.
Deplorable. Sorry. Look, I know people.
Sorry.
I personally know people who are probably going to watch this video and they're probably going to be upset. I don't care. deplorable, okay? He has been accused of raping multiple people, including his ex-wife. He has totally supported sexually assaulting women, okay? He's been caught on camera, on tape saying these things, and you don't care? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to call you. What am I supposed to call you? A good person? Am I supposed to say you're peachy keen? No, you're deplorable. That's it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, though, he didn't do it to them. I mean, that's largely the
Mindset.
argument.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, yeah, okay, that's true. That it is in court papers that he did to his ex-wife, and he did attack Jill Harth, and that's also in court papers. He settled that case. And it's true that he's been accused of that now by, of just going and kissing or groping women without consent another 4 or 5 times or so. But he didn't do it to me. And so I still don't like Mexicans, and I still don't like Muslims, and I'm still pissed about the economy, so... Okay.
Yeah.
The only point of disagreement we have here, and I grant you that it's a funny point of disagreement, is that I think 50% of the Trump supporters are voting for him despite those comments, and 50% are voting because of those comments.
Oh, I see.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that. But I still think both groups are deplorable.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We have deduced it.
Yeah.
There's so much more Young Turks content if you're a member. Great shows like Aggressive Progressives, Old School, you'll get post games, all ad-free, plus the whole 2-hour show. I know what you're thinking.
This is huge.
And it kind of is. So come join us. tytnetwork.com/join.